We are 1 month away from the release of Captain Black Falcon America, man, and boy howdy are we getting some news on it. Well, we're trying to figure out exactly what cut of the film is going to be released, because we've known that it hasn't been reshot not once, not twice, but thrice, and new edits are still being made up until the point of release, and bro, it's going to be a disaster. Okay, nobody knows for sure if they're going to be in the film, how long they're going to be in the film, what's going on with the final cut, how this is going to work into the Avengers. Oh, it's a mess, an absolute mess. And so Captain America Brave New World cuts WWE's Seth Rollins. Yeah, this was one of the first cameos or special guest appearances that we'd ever heard. It harkens back to GSP being in, what was he in, Winter Soldier, right? Something akin to that. But hey, I thought like right now, nothing's quite as hot and poppin' as WWE, where they can go ahead and hide all of their ratings now for Monday Night Raw that was pulling consistent 1.5s on USA on cable network, going to a smaller platform. And oh yeah, their debut episode did over 2 million. Yeah, tell me how the follow-up episode does on that one. But never been hotter now that SmackDown can't even get to 1.5s. But everything's great, don't worry about it. The wrestling's never been hotter. That's why you're cutting one of WWE's biggest stars from the film. But yes, after frantic rewrites and reshoots, a wrestler says he doesn't want his fans to waste their time on the Marvel film. Interesting, because I'd imagine the check cashed for his appearance that's on there. And unless this wasn't in character, I don't know, is he working heel still, or is he working face? I have no idea, man. But his fans, like, he doesn't have fans. Wife has fans. His opponents has fans. He's one of the most overrated, thin-skinned pieces of shit. Anyways, 5-time WWE World Champion, right? Seth Rollins has officially confirmed the long-standing rumor that his anticipated role in Captain America Brave New World has been cut following extensive rewrites and reshoots for the upcoming Marvel film. Rollins shared the news during a video interview with YouTuber Chris Van Vliet, shedding light on his involvement, or lack thereof, in the latest entry of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Rollins was initially cast as a member of the Serpent Society and was photographed in costume on set. However, that was before a series of disastrous test screenings reportedly led to sweeping rewrites and frantic reshoots. But I thought we seen in the last leak of the script, or at least a plot synopsis that is out there, that the Serpent Society is still very much in it. So why not Seth, though? I wish it the best, but I'm not part of the film, Rollins confirmed. He elaborated, explaining the script went through a lot of rewrites and reshoots, and so what I was there to do, essentially, my role got either repurposed or completely erased. Rollins also disclosed that he had auditioned for a potential alternate role, but the project's directions shifted entirely. Holy shit, because he was down on the set for like the first rounds before the writer's strike. Like he's been on this for a minute, but now he's not on it at all. I did do a bit of an audition to possibly pop into another role. I believe on the repurposing of my role. I'm not exactly sure what it was, and they ended up going in a different direction with it. My understanding is that there's just a lot of rewrites and a lot of reshoots despite the changes. Rollins seemed to offer optimism for the film, stating, but they know they got a finished product that hopefully they're happy with, and hopefully it's successful. But it will be sans Seth Rollins. Oh, Colby Lopez, lol. When Van Vliet brought up the trailer clip that fans thought featured Rollins, the WWE star, gave a playful response. You could just see his eyeballs. I'm not in the movie. I don't want anybody to go to the film thinking, I'm here to see Seth Rollins. Nobody's ever done that, even if they go to a wrestling show. They might be 2 people who would do that, but I don't want those 2 people to waste their time. I don't want to misinform anybody. I don't want to lead anybody astray, and I'm not in the film. Oh no. He has a lot of faith in it, and he wishes it nothing but the best, but I'm not in it. I don't want you guys to get your hopes up, and I don't know why they have a DC project that's right there, but John Cena, right? He's coming back to wrestling. It's going to be really important and stuff like that. He's going to be at the Royal Rumble. Yay. I find this line also very interesting as well, okay? As he also said in the interview, asked on his thoughts about acting, if I'm not in a movie, I don't care. I don't love acting. I love wrestling. Well, that kind of speaks because, oh my God, here's something interesting, right? As somebody who, grew up watching a hell of a lot of wrestling, especially during the heyday The only time that people can reference, well, prior to that, it would normally be like Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage. Just goes to show you the impact that they had from all the way back in the late 80s, early 90s. But even going through the Attitude Era and all of that stuff, WCW was rocking as well. If you hung around like I did for a while, all the way up until WrestleMania 25, so you can go ahead and I think that's 2009 or something like that, 2008, 2009. I was still watching it up until that point, and then it just dropped it cold turkey. You've checked in a couple of times since then, but honestly, the product is just such ass. I can't even pay attention to it. I loved AEW for a minute, but they've fallen off so hard that it's like I can't even be bothered to pay attention to what's going on over there anymore. But if you've seen how wrestling fumbled the bag from its most profitable point in time up until creating one star, and then when he left, it's just basically the brand and nothing else, you can kind of extrapolate that out and see why Hollywood is having such a problem that it does right now, how there's a specific lack of stars, how there's a reliance on old established brands. You can see a lot of crossover there, so that's why as a wrestling fan, none of this stuff is all that shocking as to why Hollywood is burning. Literally and figuratively this time around, mostly because, yeah, you keep on trying to fit square pegs into round holes, and Disney, they've been very good at doing that recently, hiring people that don't love acting, that don't love the source material to come through, that ends up eventually seeping through to the screen, and that's why you end up with such an unmitigated disaster. And that's what we're going to be getting this President's Day long weekend. Oh boy, this is gonna suck, isn't it? Captain America Brave New World eyes an $86 to $95 million opening weekend over President's Day weekend box office early look. Remember, okay, when Black Widow came out in 2020, it had a $140 million opening weekend. Yeah, this is going to be the first big superhero film of 2025. One of many coming out this year. Oh boy, it's going to be rough. It's less than 5 weeks until its first big opening of 2025. Oh, to the first, big opening of 2025, because we've looked at the slate between now and Cap 4, and bro, it's dire at the box office. But Brave New World, which hit tracking service Quorum, is expected to do 86 to 95 million, and I would imagine this is going to be the high-end estimates. Mostly we see these projections, they end up getting knocked around and retooled closer to release, so I could see this going even lower for the first 3 days of the 4-day Valentine's Day President's Day weekend beginning February 14th. Friday to Monday figure is also bound to be the $100 million. Yes, at this point in time. Well, yeah, you get an additional day and you're projecting the top end of 95 million. You add another day on top of that. Yeah, it makes sense, right? The projection takes into account the change up in the cast, the Captain America franchise, and the overall reset of the franchise. Yeah, heading into an overall reset for the MCU. And the next installment is a grounded title a la 2014's, yes, The Winter Soldier, because that's going to be the marketing. Oh, it's such a grounded take on things. It's so grounded that you have a not super powered Captain America. He has no he has no super soldier serum, by the way. Okay, like this is just a dude in big old vibranium suit with goofy ass wings, right? Taking on Incredible Hulk villains. More grounded affair, right? Which opened at $95 million over the 3 days in April. Yes, 4th through the 6th. Yeah, that's 2014. Yes, that is post-Avengers, but that's also prior to the MCU really heating up. That might be in on and around the time that Disney bought Marvel. It might even be a little bit before. So yeah, it's a comparison that you can make, but not exactly a fair one. On Quorum, A Brave New World has the most awareness of movies opening in the next month at 58, higher than Universal's Wolfman, which I didn't know was a thing prior to last week going over some of the box office releases, opening, yes, at January 17th, so this weekend. Okay, Lionsgate Flight Risk. Okay, and Paddington in Peru also opening up, yes, on President's Day long weekend. Brave New World is the strongest with men, of course, and women under 35. Not that far behind men over 35 in awareness. In regards to those who could pay to see Captain America Brave New World versus stream at home, that number is very high compared to incoming, lineup of titles. 67 versus Wolfman, Flight Risk, and New Line Horrors movie Companion, and Paddington and Peru. That's not a horror film, by the way. The movie, directed and co-written by Julius Ona, as takes place after the events of, yes, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But yeah, they're kind of downplaying that when it comes to the marketing. It's just, hey, take a look. We got Captain America, sort of. Well, he's kind of Captain America because of the events in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which you don't need to watch. It's just, hey, look, it's Anthony Mackie, and we got Harrison Ford. Okay, that's so intrinsic to the marketing that you got Anthony Mackie coming out and saying this is way better than any of Tom Holland's movies. Oh yeah, all of the ones that Tom Holland's Spider-Man made that made over $1 billion. Did I think Homecoming might have come up short, but Far From Home, that made over $1 billion, and No Way Home definitely made over $1 billion. But he says, yeah, it's way better than any of Tom Holland's movies. I gotta press a big old X out on that one. And I have Harrison Ford. Oof. I think it's going to be bad, guys. I think it's going to be really, really bad. And I think the MCU, well, they're going to be in trouble for a very long time. Because after this, you have Thunderbolts. And then after that, what we're hearing out of Fantastic Four, it's going to be a lot of big build-up for a big old letdown, especially in the shadow of whatever Superman is going to be, because that's going to have a big, big opening weekend. Now, what it does after that, only time will tell. This is a film that's going to get lost in the shuffle, and especially with Thunderbolts coming out and also facing a very similar fate, because these are holdovers from before the strikes that were gestating during the time of the coup, and only Fantastic Four is a clear line in the sand, a clear line of demarcation where no, we're taking this stuff seriously, with Pedro Pascal as the smartest man alive, and female Silver Surfer. Oh, it's going to be so good because Robert Downey Jr., oh, he's going to be there. We got keys to Django. Ooh, it's going to be so good. Oh my gosh, fantastic, setting up everything that's going to be coming in the future. But you've also got to do a lot of setup with this and the Thunderbolts as well, because yeah, you're just bringing in the Fantastic Four, Marvel's first family, from another dimension. So yeah, you're still doubling down and using the multiverse stuff. But then, yeah, you've all got to build up to an eventual Avengers game that has a hard release date in 2026. It's just, who in the fuck are the Avengers? This is what this film at one point in time was supposed to clear up. So yeah, you got Captain America. Theoretically, you've got Benedict Cumberbatch. You've got Doctor Strange. Then what after that? Like, we're hearing rumors of Black Panther finally getting recast. Okay, is he going to play in there? Tom Holland just re-upped for something, but he's being more selective when it comes to Spider-Man script. So who really knows if he's going to be in anything that doesn't have Avengers attached to it. So he'll just come swinging in on a sure thing. What's Brie Larson doing? She was set up as the next Iron Man, right? So, and she was so successful in her follow-up film that they had to bring back the original one at a hefty price tag. But then there's one other heavy hitter that's out there in the lurch, okay? One other original Avenger. And they're so desperate at this point in time, okay? They're so desperate that they're apparently, now take this with a bucket of salt, because this is another rumor coming out and another one of these scoopers, but Kevin Feige getting so desperate as to have George Miller, okay, legendary director, potentially team up with Chris Hemsworth for Thor 5. Because we don't have any confirmation as to what's happening with Thor. He's obviously out there, okay? He survived in so much as you can survive the events of Love and Thunder. He's going to be one of those big old question marks if he doesn't get addressed heading into Doomsday or heading into Secret Wars after that. What's going to happen? Who knows, man? I would think that everybody's getting contacted at this point in time, because they know they really got to try to trudge through the slop that they have. Because yeah, there's Captain Black Falcon. That's probably going to have a terrible opening and then a steep drop off after that, when everybody goes in and goes, what the hell was that? That was just edited all funky, and it just seems like there's like 25 different movies all slapdash in there. I don't even know what the hell I just watched. And then following that up with the Thunderbolts, where everybody can just look around and go, who the fuck are the Thunderbolts? Like, what are we doing out here? Actually, they won't have to whisper, because all of the theaters are going to be empty. And what, do you think you're going to hook people with somebody who's already be overplayed with Pedro Pascal with the Fantastic Four this summer? I wish you the best of luck, because I'll be paying attention. It's just, we kind of know that you guys are desperate over there at Marvel, and the last time you guys were big successful was when you started to jangle keys at Deadpool and Wolverine and Spider-Man Far From Home. I'm sorry, No Way Home. So yeah, it's going to be more of that. More member berries until morale improves or the studio goes under. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.